Hey, Ward Misfits. How are you doing this evening? And thank you for the 25 bits and the host, and for sticking your tongue out at me. How are you doing today? Are you doing good? Oh, a bit of a headache. Well, you'll have to maybe lower the volume a little. It'll help. Not that I intend on shouting, of course, but you never know. I hope your headache gets better soon. Anyway, so I did sort of say in my Discord and Twitter yesterday evening that I was going to do more Redneck Rampage tonight, but then I realized that I need to get this done for the month, and I figured I might as well do it tonight, so it's kind of out the way. It also seems to have come at an opportune time, so I'm going to take this opportunity to do it. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Sweet State number... Hey Francis 218, thanks for the host as well. And welcome to Sweet State 2832. That's right. Hey Saipiam, how's it going? So, for those who don't know what the Sweet State is, it's basically a... Hey, look, fellas. It's basically a monthly sort of, like, vlog series, if you will, where basically I talk about the state of the channel and how things are going and what's going to happen in the future, yada, yada, yada. And obviously it's been going for nearly 3 years now. It'll be exactly 3 years in July of this year. So that's basically all it is. It's just a monthly series where I just talk about how things are going in the world of John Suitepee, the channel, mainly. So, where to start? Where to start, indeed. I'm definitely feeling a lot more emotionally calmer than I was yesterday, and hard day's work and a bit of time has helped with that. So I'll sort of very quickly go over the personal stuff, because that's really not going to be the main blunt of this particular Sweet State for a change. So things are slowly returning to normal, very slowly, in terms of the wider picture. Obviously, the kids have all gone back to school today, so my work has gotten a little more busy since as a teaching assistant I work in a class, and now the class is full of kids. So that was something to get used to today, but it's all a very small step to getting back to normal. Very small step of beginning to see the light at the end of the coronavirus-related tunnel, which is always nice. Plus, I'm wearing a nice class, which helps. So, hopefully over the next few weeks and months, I'll slowly be able to access more things. And I'm mainly just irked at the fact that there is no gyms open at the moment. I really do miss being able to go to the gym 3 times a week and do a proper exercise workout and listen to some music and really lose weight properly, because it's kind of fluctuated a bit. But I'm still at a relatively healthy 18 stone-ish. So I've not really let myself go too much, but I haven't really progressed either. And that's simply because as much as I could just walk around all day, there's only so much I could do, and motivation to stick to pure health can be difficult when you have little else to do when you come home from work, aside from live stream or pass the time, really. But thankfully, next month the gyms will finally reopen after the Easter holidays, which is a bit awkward. I would have liked them to have been open during the Easter holidays, but whatever. At least they'll be open eventually. So I'll be good. So I can't wait to go to gyms to reopen. And that's about it. There's not really much else to say. It's not like we live in exciting times where things are happening. I have a nice stable job at the moment. Obviously, the contract will be up at the end of the academic year. I'll be striving to get a new contract or a permanent position. Hopefully, I will get those. Hopefully. I would hate to think that I'd rather spend the upcoming summer with a job waiting for me at the end of it and just being able to relax over the summer and actually take in the less restrictions, I should say, that will be placed upon the people of the UK, rather than spending the summer absolutely panicking and looking for a new job very quickly in time for after the summer period, because I'll probably try another school, because that's usually one of the prime recruiting times, is over the summer period or just before it, so that they get someone in time for the new term in September. But hopefully, I keep the job I have now. So, yeah. And what else has changed? You know, we're still in a lockdown. We're still in a pandemic. It still sucks. We're getting out of it slowly. Hopefully by summer. So with that in mind, I guess it's time to go on to the main part of this sweet state in particular. And that is recent events over this channel itself. Now, I did do a stream yesterday evening, which I regret doing. I will just say that right now. I have preserved the VOD on my local hard drive for historical purposes, among a few other reasons. But for the most part, yesterday's sort of rant stream was kind of really very awkward and really shouldn't have happened in the first place. I really should have just not streamed, put up a quick note, and just left it at that. But I have had a very unprecedented 3 weeks as a live streamer, as an internet person, shall we say. So I do apologize for the recent emotional stress over live streaming shit, as I've put in the notes here, but it has been a little bit emotionally stressful because obviously I do value this as a passionate hobby of mine, and it's not really fun when my passionate hobby is the thing causing the problem instead of being the escapism from other problems, if you will. You know, I do this for fun. And when it stops being fun because of external factors, it sucks. So, but I do apologize for yesterday's stream if you were in the chat at the time. I won't be doing any more streams like that again. I mean, not unless there's like an actual significant reason for it, you know, something that needs to be talked publicly, shall we say. So, yeah, just thought I'd get that out. That being said, what I did mention during that particular stream is something I'm just going to kind of recap here in the sweet state, when I am a bit calmer and a bit less stressed out, shall we say. So, for some of you, this may sound a bit like a repeat, but for others, it's going to be the first time. So, the difference is, however, is I'm a lot calmer now, and therefore this can be discussed in a calmer manner. So, and also, I guess, to provide a bit of a recap for those who may have not even heard of these events. Maybe you've only tuned in for the first time in a little while and you're like, why is John Suitepee been bummed out for the last 3 Sundays in a row? Because this didn't actually happen before my previous sweet state. So it wasn't documented there either. It was it happened afterwards during the half-term break 3 weeks ago. So, in short, I'll try and provide a sort of a quick recap. For the last 3 Sundays in a row, I've had something not very nice happen. Well, partly my own fault, but let's just say I've had something happen related to the channel and a bit of drama here and there. So, do I actually have... no, I don't actually have the picture. Maybe I won't bother with the picture. I do have a sort of a screenshot of the email though. But so yeah, basically 3 weeks ago, was it 4 weeks ago? I think it might have been 4 weeks ago actually. Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks ago, whatever. I was streaming Age of Empires 2, which was supposed to be the final part, and I complete the penultimate level, and I take a break, and I come back, and when I come back, I figure out that I've been suspended off Twitch for a week. Revenant Punch, yes. I figure I've been suspended off Twitch for a week for the reasons of hate speech / symbols. Not that Twitch actually specified what that was. They just specified that there was some use of it, and therefore I had to be suspended for a week, which was not the best way to spend a half-term period, you know. I was looking forward to half-term, having a bit of time to complete projects and do some extra streams and stuff like that to pass the time a bit, since there's little else to do. But instead, I spent that half-term wondering what the fuck is going to happen to the channel. And as it turns out, the answer is it would be back a week later with no problems. Now, thanks to Lord Misfit, we may have figured out what caused it precisely, which I'm not going to repeat in words here, obviously. But the truth is, without a direct and honest response, I will never know what caused it, and I never will. I don't think Twitch want to tell me. It'd be nice if they did, but I don't expect them to, and I'm just going to move forward past that. But basically, because of this, a week later, after pondering what the future of the channel itself, I removed my entire archive off Twitch. I deleted everything, every clip, every VOD. I had 8 years of stored highlights on Twitch, and in about the space of maybe an hour and a half, I had deleted every single one of them. Because, quite frankly, I no longer trust Twitch in a long-term VOD archival capacity. And I will continue to not trust them in a long-term VOD archival capacity. With the dual threat of DMCA and people reporting random things years later, there doesn't seem any point in preserving a long-term archive on this platform, where things can be used against you years down the line. So, if you've been wondering why there's no longer any Twitch VODs, that's why. I also don't have any plans to. I'm not uploading any future ones either. I am allowing 14-day VODs for things that do not contain any DMCA or potential, incidences that could get me reported, so to speak. Trigger words, I'll call them. Like, if his sweet state goes well, this will have a 14-day VOD, for instance, and the previous few streams of him and the Iron Man attempt are currently up as a VOD, but there will no longer be any long-term VODs. To do that, you'll have to go to my YouTube channel, which you might be watching this on right now. In which case, great, you're in the right place. And that is where I'll be uploading which I have been doing for several years, all the streams I've done in the past. But that is now the only archive option. Because I've had no problems with YouTube, as of yet. They might copyright claim all my videos, but I make no money off YouTube, so I don't care. So that's had to happen. I've also had to disable clips. In hindsight, I should have perhaps pruned the clips a bit more carefully, but, you know, at the time I was pretty much expecting my channel to disappear very quickly, and I didn't know what caused it, so I thought, clean slate, let's start over, which I did. Clips are allowed, again, on videos, I know, and quite a few others as well, but again, you know, I wasn't thinking straight, but also I was genuinely concerned that if I didn't immediately remove all my archival evidence, it would be used against me when the moment the suspension went up, which may have been a bit paranoid, but understand that this is it was an unprecedented thing. I've never been suspended as a live streamer before. I have heard of plenty of cases of problems with Twitch and stuff like that, so I was worried. But I now obviously know that clips are fine as long as I... Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry about that. So the clips will be up, but again, if it's on any kind of stream that doesn't have... Oh wait, I just realised I didn't enable clips for this stream. Or a VOD. I forgot to change the settings. Oh well. Sorry everyone. I didn't change the settings to this sweet state. There won't be any VODs. It doesn't matter anyway. There's no clips that usually occur during these anyway. And the VOD will just be on sweet state on my YouTube channel. So it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's part of the change I have to get used to remember to check that. But, you know, it is what it is. Not a big deal. It's not like you're gonna lose access to it anyway. And to be honest, the sweet states are mostly useful for the people who watch it live. Mostly, although a few people obviously watch it later on to get a grasp of how things are going, of course. But anyway, so that's been the change I had to make as well. And I had to adjust my language quite a bit. I had to become a lot more chill. Well, yeah, exactly, serious. So I did that. Eventually, I allowed clips again and VODs as long as the stream wasn't prone to any problems. And you never know, in hindsight, the decision might prove to be vital. Who knows what will happen in the next hour, especially when we talk about another thing later on, and depending who shows up, of course. But those are the changes I had to make. You know, I took no joy in deleting my archive, but it had to be done. So after that, I got back to normal. I started being a bit more chill. I've actually had some decent streams in the last 2 weeks. But then, a week ago on Sunday, I was hit by a swarm of bots. To be precise, over 1,200 of them, who decided to follow my channel all at the same time in a 10-minute span, about 5 minutes before I was due to go live that Sunday evening. Which is also something that has never happened to me before. I've had to deal with bots in the channel advertising really strange viewer spam links. But I've never had 1,200 bots follow me at the same time and flood the Streamlabs OBS for 10 minutes. It was also a bit freaky. And yeah, the same one they always advertise. I think the term is actually blocked on my channel, so I don't think they can even advertise unless they change the URL or some shit. I think I've enabled it as well, or maybe my moderator did at some point. Because I know a few of those terms are on there, so Maybe that's why I don't get any anymore. And long may that continue. So that was a bit awkward. Luckily, unlike with the suspension, I actually did get a reply from Twitch when I submitted a ticket. Not that I needed Twitch's help, as it turns out, but I just wanted to cover my back so I can say, oh, hey, Twitch, I'm totally not behind these bots, and I'm a victim of it. Please advise. Thankfully, thanks to a Twitch partner / IT expert / bot runner on Twitch called Commander Root, I've not had that problem yet, serious, but you never know. So, thanks to Commander Root, I found a very handy tool that enabled me to delete followers off my Twitch account, and so I simply deleted all the bots, which was actually very easy. I also deleted some inactive accounts, which is why the follower count is back to being 1900. Instead of being very close to 2,000 as it was before last week. So the follower count you see right now is now legitimately 1,909 people who exist as real people on Twitch following this channel. At least as far as I can ascertain from the tool, anyway. So thankfully, at least that problem was solved quite quickly. But it was still a bit stressful, especially considering the suspension the week prior, and that someone in the chat had made a rather ill-timed comment, shall we say, Depop. But several other people had been hit by the same thing. It's a thing that happens on Twitch from time to time. I just got unlucky. But again, I was stressed about it. I was a bit paranoid that somebody was out to get me. Yeah. It seems to be a Sunday. I mean, to be fair, the one that happened yesterday was entirely my fault. But still, I've been fearing Sunday for a little bit now, you know. But I think we'll be okay this week, I hope. But it's a good idea, Saipan. Maybe I just won't stream on Sunday and then I won't have any problems. You can't have any live stream drama if you don't stream. Something like that. Not that I intend to do that. I have plenty to get on with. I need all the time I can get. But, yeah. So, you know, that caused some stress. And then yesterday, I did the rant stream where I was basically announcing a few changes. And hey, Elsinado, how's it going? And unfortunately, it was an ill-advised rant stream because I didn't really have much to rant about. I could have simply just messaged it on social media, on my Discord, on my Twitter, and that would have been it. That would have been sufficient. And I should have taken the matter in private. Even if I did get some potentially useful information from that stream, which I won't be acting upon because I don't care anymore. But And then I found out that the user called Navanos, who you all know as a very chill streamer of Doom, who's currently doing a Sunlust D2O Max attempts to be the second insane person behind Derek to do such a thing. I say that not to be serious, of course. The achievement that Derek pulled off was ridiculously insane in the positive sense, and Navanos would be, equally as insane for being able to pull it off himself, which he may be able to do. But I was trying to watch his stream, and basically I couldn't follow his channel, and I'd been unfollowed, which was odd because I'd been following Navanos for ages. It turns out that Navanos has blocked me on all platforms. And I do mean all platforms. I can't message him on Twitch. I can't message him on Discord. He has just decided to block me for no reason. And that's that. So I made a foolish decision to declare this publicly. in a less than calm state to some extent, and it led to the stream being full of drama, got out of control, and I pretty much figured out I had to sort of kill the stream before it got crazy. And no, we will not be repeating it here now. I'm not interested in discussing it any further. I just wish to state what happened. You know, I do not bear any ill will towards... I think you should really start talking about a topic. Just go on. I don't really want to discuss it too much. Oh, stop. Yes. I'm just mentioning it briefly. That's all. To admit that I made a mistake in even mentioning it at the time. Do not worry. The bottom line is he's made that decision. I bear no ill will towards him. So be it, you know. And I hope he does well. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say, you know. I hope he achieves the Sunlost run. I hope he does well, and so be it. Clash of personalities, other reasons, doesn't matter. He's made his decision, and that's that. I should never really have mentioned it. I should have just asked privately and left it at that. But, you know, I've not necessarily made the best emotional decisions lately. Since I've had to do so many changes recently, it's kind of thrown me off my rhythm a bit. So, you know, I do apologize for that. It wasn't very pleasant to deal with. And I really did kind of overreact a little bit, you know. Mainly I just wanted to know why. That's all. If you had a reason, it's like, fair enough. I accept your reason, but it's just this whole thing of things happening to me and I don't know what causes it. That irks me a little bit, you know. A suspension without a clear reason, but we're moving forward from that now is the point. You know. Things have happened, we learn from them, and we move on. Hey Depop, how you doing? So... those are the things that have happened recently. Well, yeah, I mean, in combination with the fact that it also was a thing I noticed on a weekend, it's just been a bit of bad luck. I'm pretty sure the Twitch suspension was a report or an automatic thing. The bot swarm was a coincidence, and Navanos' decision was probably made sometime earlier to the weekend, because I didn't regularly check on his channel, so he could have made it 8 days before or something. But it is what it is. So, with that in mind, I wish to sort of clarify a few of the recent changes that I've made, that I did mention yesterday and I'll mention again. So you may notice if you join the chat there are some general new rules that are sort of popped up for the first time. And one of the things that has definitively changed is that I have outright banned the use of a certain term. The same term which I strongly believe is the reason for my suspension. And the reason for this was because I've had... Hey, Xiaomita Jones. I won't be playing anything today. I was planning to do some Redneck Rampage, but then I realized when I got home from work that I kind of need to get the sweet state done for the month. I usually like to do those quite early, and I honestly probably should have done it on the weekend. But given what happened yesterday, I kind of felt it was an opportune time to sort of do it now, really, when I was a bit calmer and I've had a bit of time to think, shall we say. But tomorrow I will definitely get back to the Redneck Rampage. So, you know, don't worry about it. I'm not putting it off. I am enjoying the game. I've just been busy. So, I have outright banned the term. You know the one. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. Several people have told me they don't want to see that term anymore. It's quite offensive in the Twitch community and in the community as a whole. It's like an outdated sort of bad slur, and I no longer wish to annoy those people over a silly word. One silly word that I don't really use anyway. So it's banned. And, you know, I don't really tolerate that kind of stuff anyway, the racial slurs and whatnot. And most people in my community are very sensible anyway, so this shouldn't really be an issue, I would think. But it is something I've decided, and that goes for both my Twitch and my Discord as well. And it's been made very clear. Ha ha, Depot. Ha 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 ha. So that is the change. What was the other thing? Other thing. Oh yeah, that was it. I remember the other thing. The other thing is that well, I'll mention the other. Yeah, okay. I was going to mention it a bit later, but I guess I'll mention it now. The other thing was that Drauken is no longer a moderator on my channel, on Twitch or Discord. Well, now I'm glad I didn't request overwork because it had some no-no words. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bit awkward for any kind of games that say that kind of word, but we'll have to cross those bridges when we get there, and if necessary, we'll just have to, you know, we'll cross those bridges when we get there. I doubt many games say that word openly, though, so it shouldn't be a problem again. But yeah, Drauken is no longer a mod. Drauken opted to remove himself. It wasn't... I had no intention of removing him as a moderator. The possibility crossed my mind, but I wasn't entertaining it. But Drauken perceptively guessed that since quite a few people have disagreed with some of his stuff he comes out with, and by his own admission, Drauken likes to be a little toxic. But even though he is, I still see the nice part of him, even if he doesn't see it himself. But he volunteered to step down as moderator, and I agreed. Simply. So he's no longer a mod. He's still a regular, and he's still in the community, and he still will be. He's the only person in the entire community that I've actually met in real life. He's a real life friend of mine. So he's not going to leave, but he's no longer a mod. So that's the thing. And because of that, I need to find a replacement moderator to replace him. Because while I do have Bridgeburner is busy with other things. Naturally. I mean, when Bridgeburner is around, he does moderate quite effectively, but Bridgeburner has his own community to deal with and his own stuff. And what I need to find is a willing regular viewer who will happily moderate the channel. And now that I think about it, I do see one candidate right in front of me, which I didn't even think about until just now. I mean, my first choice, and Bridgeburner's first choice, and Drauken's first choice would have been Lord Misfit, but Lord Misfit doesn't want to do it because Lord Misfit is also busy with other things. Which to be fair, he told me a few weeks ago. Because I was actually planning on getting a third mod in anyway, prior to Drauken's removal. Well, you might, and there'll always be and if that's the case, then, you know, you may still be able to become a mod. Yeah, I don't wish to burden anyone. I mean, my channel doesn't really have a lot of moderation issues at this point. 99% of my streams have no issues. It's just the 1%, which is rare. Had a few. Well, I would need to find a few people that would be reliably on. I think the main issue is that I need someone who is regularly being around. Depop will not be considered. Sorry, Depop. So I am on the lookout for a mod, and I'd like to appoint at least one by the end of the week. Yeah, it's basically that's all it is, you know. Most of the time there's any drama, it usually fizzles out rather quickly. So it's not like I have to deal with extended bollocks. Not that I'm going to be tolerating any of that anymore, because there is going to be a shift change in the channel going forward, which I will get onto in a moment. But, you know, it would essentially just be keeping the peace just in case something does happen, or helping me out with decision making to some extent. And with that in mind, I'd like to offer the position to Tourniquet, because you seem to be an ideal candidate. You're a regular, you've contributed and helped out with the channel, and you seem like a nice person. And I'd like to offer you the position right now on stream, because I do need this mod rather quickly. Especially when I tell you about something in a few moments, shall we say. I have done something today which has been perhaps a little overdue. But we'll get to that. Lord Misfit knows what I'm talking about. But yes, Tourniquet, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to become my mod if you want. You already offered yesterday that you'd apply, but only under one condition. What will be the condition? That you're not the only one? I mean, to be fair, Tourniquet, if you legitimately offered during yesterday's stream that the clusterfuck that ended up being, I probably don't remember what you said, because the chat kind of went off the deep end that yesterday. I want you to pick a second new mod as well, because like I said, I also can't be around all the time to do the work. Okay. I would be happy to do that, but just keep in mind that it might not be straight away. I'd have to obviously find this person and think about them. But I would be happy to find another mod, sure. I mean, to be honest with you, if I can find 2 or 3 regular good mods, I'll probably remove Bridge Burner as a mod as well, maybe. Just so that he's freed up to do his own stuff, which he's very busy with. Not because I think Bridge Burner's a bad mod or anything. He's just busy. Hey Scotty, how you doing? Congratulations on getting one of your WODs to be an Iron Man League pick, which I will also talk about a little later. I do have a bunch of regulars, but I need to pick a good regular. A good moderator regular, I should say. Hey, Bemused. Yeah, that's why you probably... Well, I'm not really considering you, Bemused, I'm sorry to say. Also, hi. Serious Cacodemon has also rejected, is also not interested. Otherwise, I would have asked him also. Redundancy isn't a bad thing in this case. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll keep Bridge as a mod, but obviously, if we get a few more established ones... Dave the Daring. Maybe not. Not Joe. No, 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 no. No offense, but Joe is not the type. I'm looking for sensible people here to some extent. I don't really particularly feel like recapping the stuff I mentioned earlier, Scotty. I'm just basically trying to move forward from a lot of it. You don't have to decide ASP, but I want you to look out for a reasonable one as well. Well, I will do that. If you accept, I will gladly do that. If I can find anyone that's suitable, I will definitely ask them. You know, I fully understand your condition, and I'll be more than happy to oblige. I just need to make sure I make a good decision on this. Okay, cool. Then, in that case... Oh, you're not on my Discord at the moment. But I can add you as a moderator on my Twitch. So bear with me a moment. I sort of update that. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. Just checking something. Sorry, just being very careful. I picked the correct tourniquet. Make him a mod. Save that. Success. Well added. Cool. Okay. You're a reasonable person, but your banhammer is strong. Okay, Tourniquet should now be a moderator on the Twitch. And if you appear on my Discord, I will make you a mod there as well. Or maybe I can just find you and add you. That will do that. I will... let's see, you can be a mod. So there we go. You're now a mod on my Discord. So congratulations. So I'll just mention that on my Discord so everyone knows. Hey Dirtle Birdle, how you doing? So there we go. Yeah, don't worry about the options and stuff, but there we go. That takes care of that. For now, obviously I'll need to find another mod. As soon as I can think of one, I will let you know. And we can discuss it in the mod chat, which you will now have access to on my Discord. So, let's see how this goes, shall we? I was actually thinking of hiring Foreshock, because he's also a mod for several other channels on Twitch, but I don't know if he'd be a bit overwhelmed. So I kind of decided not to bother with Foreshock, because he probably does enough as it is. So I'll be continuing to look for Zelda pickup noise. Yeah. Oh no. Nice try, Drauken. It's not gonna work. Oh god. Really? It's an interesting one, bemused. Okay, so... Well, that's helped. I'm just going to make a quick note here for future posterity that Tourniquet accepted. So, now I just need another mod at some point, and I will be looking out for a suitable candidate in the next few days. to accompany Tourniquet, and then I'll have 3 mods, and hopefully that will solve all the problems. I mean, in the past, I was happy with the balance of Drauken being a moderator that was detached from the Doom community and was my long-term friend, and Bridgeburner being the... That's why you're not going to get it, Scotty. Also, you're going to scar me for life this month, with your WOD. I can't believe they chose your WOD for an Iron Man. Do you realise there's an Uncle Bo going on, damn it? And then Bridgeburner was obviously the Doom community candidate, and now I don't have that balance, but I don't really care anymore. I just want people who are good mods. It doesn't matter if it's the Doom community or Martians. Or people named Martin, for that matter. Martin the Martian. So, yeah. That was the other thing I wanted to announce yesterday. I did announce yesterday before things went downhill. And there was actually a third point, which kind of I did mention, but I got very sidetracked on because of me being an idiot yesterday. And that was a general sort of open request, if you will, for the people who watch my stuff. The only reason that I knew that there was an issue, because of my very... Oh, God, this is going to go off on a very long... Well, I'll try and not let this go on for 40 minutes, but the only reason I knew there was an issue about the F word, which is now banned, was because King Dime messaged me yesterday and told me that it was something he would like to see the back of. That is the King Dime, by the way, the speedrunner and one of the Doom streamers and people I look up to as a fellow live streamer. And because he directly told me, yeah, I don't like to see that term, and I'm not the only one. That was what just made me decide to finally actually clamp down on that term being used, and then conversely dealing with the Drauken situation, and then, no longer tolerating that kind of stuff. Not that I ever really did, but, I stopped using the word to avoid being banned on Twitch, and now I'm going to disallow the chat from using the word because I don't want this association of being some kind of rebel that does all kinds of inappropriate stuff, shall we say. But it was really nice that he came forward and said that. And I know a few of you in the past have said a few things about these type of things when required, but I'd really sort of like to reinforce for those that did, and just sort of put it out there for everyone else. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Scotty, but that's why I have to explain, which is also something I tell you today, why I struggle with that to some extent. Hey, I know, Isha. How you doing? So, yeah, I'm okay now. Yesterday was a bit of a train wreck. It should never have happened. But today is fine. I'm okay today. There will be no drama today. There will only be reasonable conversation and explanations. Yes, exactly. Today is a new day, which always helps as well. No, let's not. If you weren't there, it's not. Well, just try to imagine a rant stream where basically I make the first few points I've just made, and at some point I get into some drama. The chat explodes with accusations and all kinds of stuff, and it ends up being a train wreck to the point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm ending the stream early. Because this has got out of control and I've sort of gone off a bit. Something like that. Yes, the Titanic, exactly. That's what happened. It was a bad decision for me to even be live. I should have handled it privately, and I will definitely not do that kind of thing again. I mean, I didn't say anything. Hey, Neil John Rips. No, not that F word. What? If you look at the chat rules, well, I can't even type it out because I've banned the word on my chat. So use your imagination. You might be able to figure out what it is. So let me just try and get back on thing here. Yes, fridge. That's it. Fridge is bad. So, oh yeah, France, that was it. So, just give me a second. Oh, I've got a message here in the mod chat. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Bridge. Some people do want an insta ban, but not the way I did it. Hello, Forshock. How you doing? You can say that word, Saipia. That's perfectly fine. No Final Fantasy IX? Of course there'll be Final Fantasy IX, Shalamisa. If all goes well, I'm currently planning to play that in the summer, when I have a bit more free time, but that will widely depend on whether my job is secure by then. Since Final Fantasy IX will take about as long as Age of Empires 2 did, maybe longer, depending on how invested I get into it. It is a JRPG after all. They're not short. Where's the chat rules? I am generally paranoid I'll say the word after I got knacked for... Well, I don't know. They pop up for the first time, and I forget how you get them to appear again. I'm sure there's a way of doing it. The rules are basically don't say that word or any other slurs. Use your common sense. So I won't worry about it, Neil John Rips. It's not a big... to be fair, I haven't previously had any chat rules because I've not had this problem. So I've had to impose some basic ones. Right. Sorry, let me just get back on topic here a little bit. Okay. So the thing I want to emphasize is that if there is a problem in my community or with the way I act, or with the chat, or whatever it is. You know, if there is a serious problem that you aren't the biggest fan of, please feel free to just tell me. You know, don't goof around and do it for any little petty drama. If it's a serious point, don't be afraid to message me on Discord, or Twitch, or Twitter, or YouTube, or Doomworld, or whatever. And you have bemused. I know you have. A few of us have. But I would prefer to know, especially considering recently I've been suspended without a cause and I've been blocked by someone without a reason. I would prefer to know the exact problem rather than just continue to linger on and on and on and on, sort of thing. You know, I would prefer the blunt honesty of you saying, look, John, this is a problem. I want you to deal with it. Here's why. I might not agree with you, and I might brush it off, but at least I will consider it. I will definitely consider it. You know. I'm not going to change every little thing, but for the serious stuff, the stuff that will be like that you're finding really genuinely toxic or negative, do let me know. You do not be afraid. I mean, I don't do confrontation, but a polite private message wouldn't hurt. honestly. Really wouldn't hurt. Because I'm not going to know how to improve my channel or what a problem is if you don't tell me that. I will just continue to operate as I usually do until something happens. Yes, I have a Discord server, it's invite only, and I do it to regulars. And I tend to choose which ones they are. The jumper is fine, Drauken. I like this jumper, and it's become something of a meme for Dave. But I like this jumper, it's nice. Yeah. I mean, if you become a super regular, you would be invited to the server, because I invite all the sort of regular people, or people I sort of know by association, onto the server eventually at some point. It is comfy. Very comfy. Thanks for 25 bits. Yeah, I don't want randoms. It's not a very active server anyway. It's mainly just used for me to announce a few things. Whenever I stream, I ping everyone. It's not super active. It's not like the Hellforge. I don't want it to be like the Hellforge because I don't think I could handle something like the Hellforge where it's super busy all the time without like 1,200 mods. It's just a place. So don't feel too bad if you can't get in. Oh, hey, Bamfus. How you doing? Well, now I'm definitely not inviting you into my Discord server. Oh, yeah, you can on Dope Lives. You seem to like that place, Bemused. It's definitely distinct. So, now I have to sort of, what can I say? Now I have to sort of explain, why like Scotty said, why I didn't really sort of pay heed to the fact that several words have been unacceptable for several years on Twitch. But for a semi-lengthy explanation, and I think only Drauken will be able to understand this point pretty well. I've been live streaming since 2009. Back when the internet didn't suck. Back when YouTube was good. Back when live streaming was a brand new thing. And so forth. I streamed on a place called Dope Lives. I was part of a big meme. And it was still okay in 2009, Bemused. It started to suck when a few years after Google took over. It wasn't an immediate degradation of quality. But anyway. Yeah, I guess so. I was part of a big thing, there was a ladder goat meme. You feel free to look it up. And Dope Lives is probably best known for that. Is where Dopefish streams. He created a meme in 2009. Our channel was one of the biggest around at the time. This was back when live streaming was like very in its infancy. We're getting 200 plus viewers was a big deal. And we had up to 1,000 at our peak. Now, I never had it, but Dopefish did. We were a big deal for a while. And part of the mentality of that older internet, at least on this channel, on the Dope Lives channel, where I still stream to this day, despite taking a break, is the fact that, to some extent, back then, a lot of things were just let slide. Dumb things were said. And really, it was just let slide. It was all about the fun and the entertainment. I mean, real obnoxious people were obviously removed, and we had a few of those even back then. But for the most part, the internet was a lot less censored, a lot less sensitive, shall we say. And I don't obviously allow outright idiots. Let's be clear about that. But I have a sort of, I used to anyway, which is probably a bit wrong these days, to some extent. I have a sort of tolerance for, variety of things, shall we say. You know, like, I was never one of those people that embraced in the racist stuff or the sexist stuff or that kind of thing that used to be a thing. Yeah, well, it's... I would say that very point is kind of a point of contention within the Irregulars bemused. I see why you would like it. Others would prefer that we are a bit more sensitive. It's a long thing. I'm not going to delve into that too much. But it is definitely different from, say, being on here. Because that's the kind of community that the old internet used to be like. There were plenty of places like that. It was the Wild West. And there was a charm to that. There was a real charm to it. Yeah, happy International Women's Day, by the way. So, I grew up with that. And I live streamed in that environment. And I loved it. It was great. Dumb shit was said. Sometimes you talked a bit of dumb shit. I was never like, as I said, I'm never racist or anything like that. But, you can understand that it was a lot different back then. And that's what I grew up on as a streamer. And that's kind of how it carried forward, you know. The good and the bad, you could say. And for years on Twitch, I sort of kept the same mentality. I know that some people said some things that were really a bit awkward sometimes, but I believed that people had a real right to freedom of expression, as long as they weren't being obnoxious and advertising that expression for 20 minutes straight, you know. And to some extent, I think I have seen and still see a wide variety of opinions of people, really. I'm pretty sure, politically speaking, I have people who watch my content on both the left and the right side of the spectrum, the political spectrum. Not that I'm going to delve into that too much. And I sort of encourage, as long as you are sensible, that you can have your different opinions and so forth, and you can say these words, as long as you're not being too extreme. And that's the way I used to think. And still do. But obviously, that can't happen anymore on Twitch. Because society and the world has changed. Some of it for the better, some of it not so much for the better. So, when I see people saying the F word, I understood that some context it could be very offensive. But because it was used rarely, and because of this, you know the one, Bamfist, we're not going to get into that. Yes, France, that's it. Thank you, Alicia. I wouldn't say anything, because it was up to people, you know. I've only ever said that, when I've ever said that word in the past, it was an anger. When I was getting angry at a video game, which I admit is a problem, but I've never expressed it towards an individual person. I'm not that mean-spirited. I mean, I can be sometimes, but I never go out for it. I'm aware of how offensive the word is, but I never really bothered to some extent. Because, you know, I grew up in an live streaming environment where people were tossing around the N word like it was candy sometimes. There's a certain level of internet humor to that kind of thing, which which obviously is a lot less acceptable today. Again, for better and for worse, in my opinion. So that's really kind of the explanation I have to offer you. But that can no longer be the case here. I have to change, at least to stay on this platform. And some of it is for the better. I don't like getting angry at video games. And it could be that as well. I would never call someone the N-word, and I never have. I would never call someone the F-word, and I never have. But yeah, you get what I mean. It's something that some people will just not be able to appreciate, especially if they weren't around on the internet in the 90s or the noughties. It used to be part of trash talking. It used to be part of internet culture. It still is, to some extent, but it's no longer widely accepted. I mean, people didn't like it back then, but it was like, oh, just go somewhere else. And while I was never one of these type of people, I didn't let it bother me. You know? I mean, for fuck's sake, I've been called Elmer Fudd for like 11 years. 11 fucking years. By people in the chat all the time. And it did bug me, but I carried on. You know, it's like, look, I have a rhetoricism, mate. Now fuck off. There's your explanation. Now go about your business. You know, that was what it was. No, I don't think it is. To some extent. But I have an explanation for it. I'm not going to sit here and deny that in a video game when they try and poke fun at that kind of thing, that I haven't laughed at it, but I don't deliberately go out my way to make fun of someone's speech in real life. No, it's more on dope whips, and I've had people on YouTube comments, and there has been an occasional Twitch comment as well, Lord Misfit. It's more of a rarity, but I can assure you back in the day it was fucking every other week. But it was just part of how it was back then. You had to deal with it. You had to grow a bit of a spine, you know. Sort of. But I agree. Things change, times change, and that's kind of what I'm getting to. I am no longer going to be accepting that kind of stuff outright. Now, it's sort of the end of tolerating things I used to, really, is the way I've put it as a note. I understand that there is banter. Let's be clear. If I didn't, Bamfist wouldn't be on this stream right now. Depop wouldn't be on this stream right now. Quite a few of you would be banned already. For all the occasionally trolly things you say. And obviously, you know, with a little banter is fine. But when it goes too far, that's when I need to be like, nope, you're not doing this. I'm not in the mood for this. You're going to stop, and you're going to stop now, or I'm going to ban you. I'm going to time you out. I'm not tolerating this consistency. You know? That's the kind of thing I'm going to clamp down on. You know? When it gets consistent, when I'm not in the mood for it, when I tell people enough, you can stop. That kind of thing. Which doesn't happen all that often. But, you know, if it's persistent, I get annoyed, and so would anyone. You know, I mean, thankfully I very rarely had to deal with, like, other stuff, like a lot of friggin' racists or homophobes or whatever. But that's not being tolerated too much either. Why no? That's a certain mentality that you have and others have, and I sort of accept. Again, I grew up in this stuff as a live streamer. You know, I accept that's a internet culture thing. But sometimes I don't want to deal with it. And I can't really accept it on here anymore. Warned and banned, dumb, move on. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing from now on, you know. And I hope that I very rarely have to do it. But the bottom line is, if someone is... There are things that I'll have to pick up, and I will have to clamp down on, you know. If someone... Looks like now we have a problem. Yeah, internet culture can change for the better. I agree that some parts of it have changed for the better. I just also think that some have changed for the worse. Too much focus on the central website dependence, if you will, which is why I think more people are going to create their own websites. By the way, there was an article the other day in BBC about a bunch of YouTubers that are doing just that. The big channels are starting to create their own websites. And I think there'll be a lot more of that going forward, especially as the main places start to have stricter terms of service and censorship goes for the roof. And that's why places like Dope Lives are pretty critical. Because the internet's going to start breaking off into pieces because people are just going to get fed up and just make their own sites and make their own cool communities and hubs and niches and so forth. But I'm not going to tolerate some things anymore. You know, if I'm a bit annoyed and people are trying to annoy me, I will tell you to stop. And we will hopefully you'll get the hint. If there's some dumb shit that people say that is a bit too extreme, I will tell you to stop. Depop, you're not going to be banned. Relax. You don't need to worry. The issue has been sorted in that regard. Okay? Now, it's part of a process that some people like Dragonfly have called curating the community for the better, which is something I really haven't done before, but I think I need to start doing. You know, not tolerating excessive toxicity just because I grew up on it, you know, that kind of thing. I would agree and disagree with that, Forshock. I'd agree there are some nice things about the new internet culture. I just kind of wish that there wasn't too much censorship at times. But you know, and really the fault lies with me. You know, I tolerate this stuff for ages. Yeah, cancel culture. I despise cancel culture. Cancel culture is bad. You know, really bad. But a lot of it falls with me. You know, I've tolerated people being toxic towards me and saying things, and I've just sort of let it slide and just sort of let it get to me. You saw that with my reactions to Mega Lego Smuggler. There is a reason I mentioned that name, by the way. The reason is a simple one. As of today, Mega Lego Smuggler has been unbanned from my channel. He is now able to rejoin this chat if he so wishes. And he has been told. That is the reason why I mention his name now. For a very simple reason. The way I dealt with Mega Lego Smuggler was really over the top, to be honest. And I have regretted it for a while, how I handled it. You know full well who he is, Banthus. The truth is, the way I handle it's me eating humble pie, if you will. I don't deny. I'm going to make one thing perfectly clear. His actions, as I observed them, were toxic. He's very similar to yourself to some extent. He's part of the old culture. He trolls around. He has a bit of a laugh, but sometimes he often went quite far to some extent. Yeah, maybe, but the difference is, I think you knew to sort of you sort of reined it in, and he didn't. Now the thing is, I should never have permanently banned him. I should have talked to him first, told him just to cut his attitude out. You know, ask him to stop. My reaction was really poorly emotionally guided. I had a problem with being caught at the first time. It's like, no. Depop, no, please do not do that. I have not been calling you out in a negative manner. That is not the, that is not my intention, Depop. Okay? It is not my intention. Please do not leave. That would be awkward. You know, maybe we can take this to a private conversation if you want, Depop. I'm not asking you to leave, Depop, man. Yeah, and I didn't believe it was, and I did not believe it was Depop. I really did not believe that was him. You know. I'm not trying to be. I guess I'll have to contact Depop about that later. I clearly have annoyed him somehow. That's not my intent, I can assure you. But anyway. Anyway, the point is that the reason I overreacted with the Mega Lego Smuggler banning is the point. I had observed his behavior over several months. I decided I just had to get rid of him. I didn't give him the chance to sort of, ask him just politely to maybe cut it out. In a proper private conversation sort of thing. And at the time, Lord Misfit even said that it wasn't a wise decision, and I don't think it was. I think if he had been banned, it should have been for like a day or something. John, pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I don't mind pineapple on pizza. Pineapple on pizza is okay. So, why would I ban you for that? So, the sweet complements the savory. Fight me. The point is that I want to sort of, while I'm not going to tolerate any more sort of toxic stuff, but I want to give him another chance, if you will. I should never have banned him permanently. I should have, handled it better, shall we say. So that is why I have unbanned him. Now, whether or not he wishes to come back is entirely up to him. If he doesn't want to return, fair enough. If he does return, he will be asked to be, like everyone else, to be sensible, And hopefully he will, but we'll see how it goes. So, I hope you can all sort of see why I've made this decision, I do not in any way condone his previous toxicity. I just wish to give him a chance to, tone it down and be sensible and be able to come back in, Because I know a few of you are friends with him, and he has actually done some positive stuff for me. He introduced me to the joys of Parsec, for instance. That was his doing. He told me about that. And in the past, he has been a lot more cordial. So, I was very harsh in my judgment on him that day. And that's the kind of thing I need to stop doing, making emotional judgments, if you will. So, we'll see what happens with that. He may not return. Yeah, yeah, he did. And I used to watch his videos, and he did some funny stuff I used to watch. It was his style. In other words, I was too harsh with him. I accept that. I apologize for being harsh. Maybe he'll come back, maybe he won't. But either way, that's why I've chosen to do that. If he acts up again, though, he starts doing his old tricks, he will be told to cut it out, and if necessary, he will be banned. But, at least then I'll have given it the opportunity, the chance to sort of be a bit more sensible in my community. I feel really bad that I've sort of annoyed Depop. he didn't really deserve that, and I wasn't trying to. I feel bad now. But I'll talk about I'll discuss that with him afterwards. You know. The bottom line for me, you don't have to be edgy to have fun on the internet. We're going through a global pandemic. What we can do is be kind of exactly. It would be nice to be kind to each other, and I can take a bit of banter, but it's all about it not going too far or stopping, and me actually stepping up and saying, right, I want you to stop now. That is enough. And I am changing myself in this regard. I'm trying to be more chill. I'm trying to sort of curate the community to be a bit more sensible so that I don't tolerate things I used to. And I'm very grateful that a lot of people in my community are very mature and sensible, and I've had very few problems in my 8 years here. It is mostly myself, if anything, who hasn't always been the most mature. Alright, see you later, Osinado. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you around. So I hope I'm not boring you all too much, but I'm just trying to be honest, I'm trying to say I am slowly changing into a better streamer, and this is part of the process. I'm trying to move forward from the last 3 Sundays, and I'm trying to move forward as a streamer, as a person in general, This is just part of the awkward process I have to go through. Yeah, so I feel I've said enough on that. So what's the next point I have to sort of deal with? Bear with me a second. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, so much for that. Well, I guess we might not be seeing Depop anymore, unfortunately. I hope he comes back, though. I really do. But anyway. Moving on. I guess it's time to talk about the Uncle Bowl. The ongoing thing in the Doomworld Iron Man League between myself and AN Mutt. So as you all know, I've been... What are you and AN Mutt going through this month? Oh yeah, maybe I should link it in the chat here, what's going to be occurring. Do I have a picture I can use? Oh no, wait, no I don't. Not at the moment. So this month's Iron Man League is criticality and miasma. So criticality is a WOD made by Scotty, if he's still here, and miasma is made by Tourniquet, which I've previously played as a request on the previous list. Yes, deadly, exactly. They are pretty tough. And I have not played Miasma on Ultra Violence because it was that difficult. And Criticality will probably also be really hard. And as apparently killed off a few runners already in the early going because of just how hard they are. Apparently, Major Arlene did not last very long. So it's going to be a tough month, in truth. Average of 90-ish monster kills. Oh, thank you, Suitepee. Much appreciated. Is Iron Man the format where you try and get as far as you can in a single run? Yeah, that is the one, Dirtle. That is very much the one. Hey, Wolfomi, thanks for the 5 bits. Much appreciated. So, as you know, me and Mutt are basically competing in the Uncle Bowl, where we compete each month in the Iron Man League to see who can get the furthest. And so far, unfortunately, Ian Mutt is 2-0 up on me in the league, in the Uncle Bowl. He got further than me in Sawdust in January by a few kills, and in last month with Alien Vendetta, I died on Toxic Touch in a very embarrassing way. It even turned out that the reason I hadn't killed the Archvile with the BFG was because I timed the cast of the BFG very poorly as I was trying to dodge its attack, which is why it didn't die. But a bit more planning would have ensured that would have never happened anyway. So, because Mutt got to map 16 and I died on map 10, then Mutt is now in a 2-0 lead. And going into the third month, 2 hard map sets present themselves. Should have added a kappa in the recent sentence. So, they should have used that thing where you can retry and... You mean the 1 credit rule? That would have been interesting. Yeah, it'll come down to kills, basically. You know, I think... Is criticality is criticality 1 map or several? I've not actually looked into it. I just know it's a Scotty thing. I know I've heard of criticality, but the kill on enemy dying stop playing rule is BS. Okay, so they're both single maps. Yeah, well, it'll come down to kills then, definitely. In terms of the league and the Uncle Bowl. So, as a rule going forward in the Uncle Bowl, the winner of the previous month will go first each month. So from now on, whoever wins the previous month is first next month, which suits me fine for this month. I want to see how well Mutt does against the maps before I play them. I may have to do some preparations to make sure that I put in a good show. You know, because I really don't want to give him a 3-0 lead, if I can help it, and have him start running away with it. 1 second. Sorry, I was interrupted again there. Oh, it's very, very good for me. Yeah, exactly. That's just check the map secretly and learn the best route. Yeah, you are allowed to prepare for the Iron Man runs. There are different categories. You can play them blind, you can play them with a bit of knowledge, or you can play them fully prepared. You just have to declare what the category is. And there's no rule that states between us and the Uncle Bowl that we can't prepare for any WOD that we play against each other. It's entirely up to our discretion. Given the difficulty of the WODs for this month, I don't think playing them blind will. Depending on how well Mutt does, of course, he might die very quickly, and then all I have to do is maybe survive one fight in each one to beat him, or whatever. You thought the door open on its own. No, no, no. My mum was just coming in. And thank you for your kind comment, Doodle. Much appreciated. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough month. Obviously, I'll wait for Mutt to do his run first. I think he's gonna do it later this month again, so I'll be waiting till near the end to see what happens. But John, you treat me better than my own wife. Okay, thanks, Bamfus, for that. I guess. So yeah, I will still be doing the Iron Eagle as well, obviously, for this month, which is Crimson Canyon. But we got a tough month for the Iron Man League. Oh boy indeed. So that's that. So what's the next point on my list here? Oh yeah, I've had a few people ask me about if I'm going to participate in the Doom World Maximum project in the last 2 months or so. For those who don't know, the Doom World Maximum project is basically where a project where as many mappers as possible contribute a single map for the WOD. It's like a community project, but with no participant limit. So as many people as possible can submit a single map. And the idea is to get as many different mappers as possible to submit something by the end of the year. So it's going on for the whole of 2021. And quite a few mappers have already submitted entries, and more are being asked for it. And a few people have said maybe I should submit a map for it at some point. And my answer to that is I will consider joining in later this year. I will see. I don't want to do any mapping for now. Doing Firebox over November and December and part of January was quite a stressful experience. I don't find it very easy to be creative or do mapping. And I don't really want to get back into that anytime soon, even for a sort of more casual, well, it won't be really casual, it'll just be there's no real massive restrictions sort of thing, like there was with Firebox, but I certainly will consider it in the second half of the year when I will submit a map, because I know it sounds like an interesting project. I would happily like to do another Doom map at some point, and if this maximum project continues to gain momentum, I may contribute. So that will be my answer. I am aware of it. I will think about it, but I'm not going to start it right now, and I'm not agreeing to anything at this moment in time. So that is that. And that's kind of my last main point, really. I think I've covered everything. I wanted to sort of cover in this sweet state at this time. As far as I can tell. Let me just check some. Oh god, I hate it when the Twitch thing does the weird thing with the. Oh, okay. It looks like it's unfollowed me as well. That's oof. I think I really pissed him off, you know. Well, that's awkward. Yeah, sorry. I think I might have been a bit. Well, I suppose I can say it because on the off chance that maybe someone who knows him can get in touch and ask that I'd like to have a conversation with him in private. But I think I screwed up with Depop, and he's blocked me on Twitch. He's unfollowed the channel, and I think he's just decided to leave. And you know, I feel kind of bad that I did that, but. Sorry, Depop. I'll just say again, it was not my intention to call you out in any capacity. I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to, you know. He'll be alright, give him time. Well, I hope so. I mean, I won't dwell on it too much. I'll just say I feel a little bit bad that I've done something, because he has been around for a good while. He is essentially a regular. He's even subbed, and maybe just I wasn't trying to do that to him. You know, I wasn't trying to say he was a bad person or anything. I wasn't trying to call him out. I think he took it the wrong way. That wasn't my intent. But if he does want to communicate with me, I'm more than welcome to talk it over and have a proper discussion with him. But if he does want to leave, then I will say thanks for all the stuff you've done. You know, you've been a good regular, you've been a good person, and hope you do well, honestly. And I'm sorry that I've accidentally forced you to leave. Sorry, Depop. But I'll always remember you as the lovable German chap who talked about Bayern Munich a lot. Please feel free to come back. So, with that in mind, I now throw open the chat to any audience questions. If there's any questions from the audience, if there are any questions you want to ask me about anything, as long as it's reasonable, of course. Now is the time to ask, really. You didn't answer my question. Oh, sorry, what was your question? Why wait? Put the pressure on him early by doing it early this time. Is that what you mean, Evil Foamy? No, it's the thing is, Evil Foamy. Even if I wanted to do that, I would have to. I got things to play, and quite frankly, I want to see just how far Mutt gets, because if Mutt, I don't really want to play a massive amount of too difficult WODs on ultraviolets to practice them. I would ideally like to see how far Mutt gets and then practice only the sections that he got past so I can surpass that and then beat him. You know, I'll have the advantage of knowing how far I need to go. You know, it'll give me a huge advantage. No, I probably won't. I think both of us are going to die very quickly without some practice, by the sounds of it. Have I ever heard of the Mukbanger Real Mouth? You might have done, and I don't recall it entirely serious, Cacodemon. Not much bragging rights in that. Yeah, well, if I do it without practice early on, Evil Foamy, I will probably die very quickly, and then Ian Mutt will have the same advantage of knowing how far he has to go to beat me. And really, the bragging rights for it doesn't matter. If I get the point evil for me, that's all that matters. This is a competition. I have to win. So, yeah. It'll last 15 minutes. Fine, Bamfis. What is it? I don't suspect this is going to be a serious question, but we'll see. Yeah, yeah, of course. He played in the 90s before he became famous for a little bit. I don't think he did too much, but he definitely did used to play for Preston. That is correct. Yeah. So, are there any other sort of questions or anything from anyone? Anything about what I've said tonight or in the past? I mean, what do I think Preston needs to do to escape mid-tail mediocrity? Is the profile picture a younger you or a meme or something I don't get? Not really, 25. Thanks for 25, Board Misfit. Well, to answer Durdle's question first, the profile picture is indeed a younger me. The picture in the profile was taken sometime in between 2009. Actually, I think it might have been 2009. It's off an image of an old Dope Lives meme, which I might be able to show you actually if you want to see it. The original picture, which I'm pretty sure I have somewhere. Just bear with me. Oh, here we go. This is it. This is the original picture. I'll just very quickly show you this picture if you'd want. I guess technically you'd be right, Scotty, definitely. So this is where it comes from. This is the actual origin point. This was created by someone in Dope Lives, I think in either 2009 or 2010. After I played Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, there was an old video on YouTube that documents a part of my encounter with that kind of thing. So this person created it because, as you can see, the fact that it's called John Suitepee. At the time, I think this is 2010 actually. At the time, they accidentally found out my first name. I sort of accidentally revealed it when I sort of cut to the desktop and like went on the Windows thing here, and it showed like John, because prior to that point I was just called Suitepee, and then it was like John Suitepee. I was always called Suitepee, and I still am called Suitepee on there, but the reason, that's why I've adopted the John Suitepee moniker for here. Aside from the fact that Suitepee was taken, of course. So this is the original picture, and it's the one I've used for a lot of my avatars since. At some point, I would like to update it with something when I get a bit thinner. A new thing, but for the time being I have no plans on changing it. So there is your origin story for the image. I have quite a few of these older style Dope Blitz pictures saved because I've archived a lot of stuff from back. Not a lot, not enough, unfortunately, but a few things at least. Okay, to answer your question, Bamfis, what do you think Preston needs to do to escape mid-tailed mediocrity? The same thing as any championship club, pretty much, Bamfis. They either have to spend a lot of money and acquire a striker that can score 20 goals a season, or they have to invest in a solid core team that is consistent. The problem with Preston is they have a decent core. They have a decent group of players, but they lack a bit of consistency, and they lack a 20-goal-a-season striker that could sort of finish chances off. Because they put in some great performances, but it's not consistent, you know. But because the owner is extremely financially prudent, we do not spend a lot of money. We tend to get rid of players and make money and really reinvest and be very careful, which is fine, considering that Preston were one of only 3 clubs in the Championship a season ago that were actually making a bit of money, whereas everyone else was in the red. So really, in my eyes, Preston as a club are playing the long game and being financially astute, whereas many clubs, thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, are going to suffer. I expect to see quite a few clubs in administration over the next few years, honestly, considering how badly it's affected all these clubs who spend a lot of money. I see. No problem, Diddle. So that will be my honest truth. You know, they have decent players. They just don't have a 20-goal-a-season striker, and that's what all the top clubs have in the Championship. Norwich have Timo Pukki, Swansea have Ayew, and others. Brentford have their players, and so on. We've not had a player like that since Jermaine Beckford in the League One days, and he couldn't cut it at Championship level, which is why he's a pundit. To answer your question, Evil Foamy, my current plan, as I have said previously, is I plan to play it in the summer if things go well. If I get a job contract renewal from my current job at the end of the academic year, and I can spend the entire summer just relaxing, unwinding, going to a pub again, then I will play Final Fantasy IX over the summer. Because of how long it takes, I want to spare a lot of free time to sort of get through a good chunk of it. And I've always earmarked that for being in the summer. So that is the current plan. If things don't go so well, I might be spending a bit more of my summer stressing out and looking for a job. I might not be in the best mood for it. But we'll see. We'll see. Use the Meguri mod for FF9. It cleans up the visuals. Is that for the PC version, Banfus? I don't really have a problem with the visuals as far as I can see. But, oh, okay. I'll look into that at the time. Hold on to that one. When I get closer to summer, I'll look into that. Thanks. That's a nice suggestion, Banfus. Sorry, what was the other question? I have a question related to Call of Cthulhu game. How long did it take you to figure out the Hydra fight? Hydra? You mean the Shoggoth fight? Serious? I don't recall a Hydra. I don't recall everything about that game, to be honest. Or is the Hydra fight the one at the very end? With the Elder God thing? I can't remember that. Isn't that the one where you had to shoot eyes or something? I don't remember. I don't have the best. It was like 11 years ago. I don't remember everything about Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth other than the fact that it had an extremely awkward combat system and was a bit awkward in places, but the atmosphere was great. It annoys you that Spurs have Bale, Kane and Son. The problem with Spurs, as far as I can tell, Bamfis, is that you have Jose Mourinho as a manager who is an egotistical fuckwit. Pure and simple. That is your problem right now at Spurs. Period. You have the talented players, but your manager's an idiot. And he's going, and next season he's going to burn all the bridges and he's going to disappear, and you're going to be stuck with a new manager. Indeed. That is your problem. You should never have got rid of Pochettino. Because you went from a club that went to a Champions League final to a club that floundered and didn't live up to their potential with the same group of players, essentially. And Gareth Bale, I don't think he's going to work out for you. Despite his talent, he's not mentally up for it. There's something off, in my opinion. But I could be wrong about that because I don't watch Spurs regularly and you do. Yeah, he has a bit of form now, but you've been playing some teams that you've been stomping over. I really don't put much stock in that. Why did it take him so long to hit the ground running? And I think the answer is the manager. What do I do for work? I work as a teaching assistant in an SEN school. That is my job. Yeah, in terms of Matt fitness, I'd agree, but there was more than just fitness problems. There were other issues. Special educational needs, Alicia. I essentially work with autistic kids, if we want to put it a bit more bluntly. Yeah, that's something I've been reasonably good at for a while. Probably the only other thing I'm good at. Working with autistic kids and live streaming. Except when I randomly annoy 40-plus-year-old Germans, apparently. I'm still sorry, Depop. Please come back. Deal with kids like yours all day, God help me. To be fair, yeah, I'm in a decent class at the moment, so most of them are pretty chill. It wasn't the case in the first term. The first term I got this job in November, it was a mixture. Some kids were alright, and some were the absolute bane of my existence. Oh, it's rewarding, Alicia. It's rewarding, and it's a reason why a lot of people stick it out. You know, it's very rewarding to sort of see the progress of someone you've worked with for several weeks and months do something you never thought possible, or to help them overcome a barrier, or really feel you can help them out with their difficulties. It's very satisfying. And certainly you don't do it for the money, because the pay is terrible, unfortunately. It really is bad. We do it for the love of the work. Thanks, Helm. Maybe I could... I suspect that Alicia is probably good at making sandwiches, and that you're just being silly, Memphis. Actually, was it twice or once more for the Deep One thing? I don't remember. You basically had to take Chrome of a Deep One. Oh, I don't remember that at all, serious, so I can't answer your question. Sorry, man. But yeah, that's what I do. And so yeah, I mean, I'm generally I'm trying to, you know, improve as a person. It's going to be a hard process to some extent. I probably am going to have to accept the fact that because I'm going to be a bit different, I'm probably going to alienate a couple of people or whatever. You know, I'm changing. I'm not going to be this sort of completely laissez-faire style person and tolerates everything and just gets angry at games and rages at dumb shit. You know, some people are probably not going to like that, I guess, because it's not what they're used to. But I'm trying to change for the better. I'm trying to. I really, as you have said just now, I am trying to do things with better. I'm trying to overcome my shortcomings. I like to think I'm fairly honest about that. Just as a sort of a general thing. It's not like I'm trying to, I'm doing this because I'm trying to sort of, I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to be transparent. I'm trying to say, hey, I'm trying to get better at things that have bugged me for ages. And I think it will. And I think it will come with some confidence. I'm going to annoy some people. You can't please everyone. Some people ain't going to like the changes, and I'm probably going to have this problem quite a few times in the next 6 months. But the fact is, I am reasonable. If I do something to annoy you, please talk to me about it. Don't just, I will make mistakes. But the only way I'm going to learn is if I get told about them sometimes and from practice. Kind of thing. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to curate the community in a better direction so that I can also improve in a better direction. I don't want to rage at video games and say silly things that get me banned because I think it looks immature and stupid on my part. Not that I shouldn't get hilarious about it on occasion because that's always going to be part of my nature and always will be, but there is a limit, and I need to be getting better at stopping myself, like I did with the Alfredo award the other day when I knew I was getting upset and I had to pause. And that's the thing I had to do in many facets. Stop going from one end of the extreme to other. Don't just ban Mega Lego Smuggler because he annoyed you a few times. You didn't give him the chance to redeem himself. Don't swear and cuss at a mapper just because they annoyed you, and where you just need to pause and continue and come up with a clear head sort of thing, It's going to be a struggle. This won't be an easy transition for me to make. To be a more chill and to be a better person, someone who's kind of being molding a better curation. But I think it'll be worth it because maybe, hopefully, in a year's time when I'm doing one of these sweet states, I'm going to be thinner, I'm going to be happier, I'm going to have a nice community, I'm going to be really, sorry, Cam, I need to just a little bit there. I'm going to be in a better place in general. And that's all I'm trying to do. I just want to entertain people. I just want to entertain people. I want to help people's day go by a little smoother. I want to help people. I want to play test that Doom. I know I said this before. I'm kind of repeating the general thing. I want to help that mapper become playtest that Doom mapper with the limited Doom knowledge I possess. I want to entertain someone who's having a bit of a bad day and cheer them up a bit with some silly jokes and a nice community that's quite welcoming for the most part. I want to try and be as tolerant as I can of all kinds of humor, but also realize that with the new internet, some things can't be allowed anymore. And I have to accept that I'm going to have faults that need to be corrected on occasion, and I'm striving to get better, provide a good, honest live streaming experience. Because that's what I want to do. And I really care about this kind of stuff. That's why I put so much stock into it, Ever since I took up the mantle back in 2009, when I first got into this and was hooked immediately, I've always enjoyed doing it, and I hopefully will continue to enjoy it for decades to come. And I hope that a lot of you stick around for the journey to some extent. Some of you might move on, some of you might not. But I hope that I can help in what little way I can offer. And that's the truth. So, are there any other questions? Any at all? Good girls to have. Yeah. What's your favourite sandwich filling? My favourite sandwich filling? Um, my favorite sandwich filling. When is the first official John Suitepee speed run? Oh god, several questions at once. Okay. I don't necessarily have a favorite sandwich filling, but I kind of like, I don't know, chicken, turkey stuff. I guess that'll do. We'll go with that. Although I used to like Subway sandwiches on occasion. Am I doing the... Yes, I will be playing more Redneck Rampage tomorrow night. I will finally get back to Redneck Rampage. Thanks to 25 bits. I will be a millionaire. Huh. Maybe one day I will. Who knows? But yeah, don't worry. Redneck Rampage will continue tomorrow night. I would have done it tonight, but I just literally remembered the sweet state, and I felt it was a good time, and it kind of has been, except for Wizard Depop. When is my first official speed run? I might experiment with speed running one day. For shock, I haven't ruled out that one day I might give it a try just to see just to gain that perspective too, so I can appreciate what all the Doom speedrunners I sort of do anyway. It's not like I criticize Doom speedrunners like I do mappers. I can't say Foreshock. It won't be any time until the other game list is done, though. My main priority at the moment is to get rid of the other game list. You know, the Drauken collection and everyone else's gifts and stuff. As I said at the start of the year, I want to prioritize getting through those as much as I can this year so that the list is reduced so I can have a better system in place for that kind of request going forward, which I already have in mind and I will mention when it's time. But I definitely would like to try speedrunning one day, definitely. I don't know what it would be, I don't know what category it would be or anything like that, but definitely one day I will give speedrunning a try for at least like a week or something. We'll see. We'll see. But not anytime soon, that's what I will say. Maybe it has to be next year for Shock, when hopefully there's a lot less requests to do and things are a bit smoother in general. That's what I criticize at 24/7 playback channel. By the way, Foreshock, since you arrived a little after the conversation about moderation, I'm aware that you're a moderator on several other channels already, and I am looking out for another moderator because of Drauken stepping down recently. And although I did appoint Tourniquet as a mod, his condition for being a mod is that he wants another one in place. So I don't know if you'd be interested or not. Although I am aware that you're busy with other things, and again, you are a mod on several other sites as well. But I think you're another person I would consider to be a good mod candidate if you are interested, because I know you are a relatively regular viewer to my streams. Yeah, that's the plan, Alicia. I've got Bridge Burner, although Bridge Burner is busy with his own things, so he's not around too much. But he does show up from time to time, and he has been very handy. I can be a mod, yeah, but I don't always visit. No, that's not going to happen, Memphis. You're relatively hands-off when you mod. Oh, well, I mean, most of the time you won't really have anything to do. this is, yeah, that would probably be enough. That's mainly the real problem. That there isn't much. I mean, thankfully, I am very fortunate that I have a decent, a wonderful community that mostly behaves itself. You know. But, it's just that 1% of the time when maybe there's a spam bot or some drama that needs to be told to go private or whatever. Which is a lesson I need to learn, and I'm going to learn. So, would you be interested, or maybe I wish I could think of someone else who was like a bit of a regular that came around quite a bit. There isn't World Misfit or Sirius or some of the others who, but it's just a shame that I don't know. I mean, another person I would have considered was Pinchy's Scree, but Pinchy just works a lot. So I could do it, just don't always know if I'd be of help, since I don't always hang around here. Are you on my Discord, by the way? I don't think you are, actually. Ah, right, okay. Then that would be kind of the thing I need, Foreshock. I would need to have this be a regular person, because I don't think throwing the invite. Oh, there's a no. Don't worry, I won't mention that. Hang on, I'm just reading a comment here, which I'm just gonna skim through. Don't worry, I'm not gonna read it on stream. That's. Would I be? I mean, I don't want to. Am I okay to sort of very briefly touch upon something you just mentioned? The person who messaged me on Discord just now. I'm not gonna say who it is. Okay, never mind. I guess he's just fine with it. How can I say this? Shut up, Misfit. I see your point. I really do. I honestly, sincerely do. Don't get me wrong. I am not. I did not. I am. How I need to put this into correct wording, because I understand there's an argument. Well, you just re-enabled someone you'd probably declared as. How to describe it? No, I get what your main point. I get what your main point was. I totally do, but I am going to operate what you've just said, honestly. However, I still stand that the way I handled Mega Lego Smuggler's banning was harsh and unfair, because I've had to deal with a few other things and I've been more reasonable, and but okay, how to describe this? Yeah, it's really hard talking about this kind of serious stuff, but I'm a bit calmer today, so I'm able to do that. Just bear with me while I try and get the words out correctly. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. All I will say is that I didn't do that just so that we could go back to square one. The bottom line is, if he gets out of line again, he will be banned. Period. And that will be the same for anyone. You know. But I'm giving him a chance. I'm giving him a chance to become like a Bamfis, if you will. You know. Because I know he can be like that sometimes. I have seen him like that in the past. You know, it's sort of like a cleanish slate, sort of. But absolutely, I am not going to tolerate some bullshit going forward. You know, 100%. That is the way it's going to be. You know. But the way I handled it was just poor. You know, I should have given him I should have said, cut this out of your band, or banned him for a lesser time first to give him the message instead of just going straight to perm. That's the thing I have an issue with. Not that I called him out for it at the time. But anyway. Hopefully going forward, I will, you know, I will help to better create this community in the right direction, and that's all I will say to that. So, yeah. So are there any other questions at all? I like that idea, actually. Would you be willing to be one of those bemused? You know, now that I think about it, I think you might be a good candidate, bemused, for a moderation. I changed my mind. You are definitely okay, fuck it. Bemused, do you want to become my new mod? I mean, you have been around for a while. You have given some good regular input. And I do agree with some of what you say. So I think you'll be a good candidate. And you might be right, bemused. You might be the type of thing I need to have to do. So let me just set that up real quick as I appoint you a new moderator. Oh, you can't be a VIP and a mod, it seems. That's a bit weird. Don't know why that's the case, but there we are. You are... you should be a mod now, I think. Oh, 27 viewers, sweet. Don't ban me! And then I'll just change you to a mod on the Discord. Yeah, it's weird. Now I have an extra VIP slot, so... there we go. There. Right. You're not screwed, Sapio. So, okay. There we go. You're all banned. Yeah. I don't know why I actually doubted you in the first place, Bermuda. Although you do joke around, you are quite serious, and you have been around various other things. I should have really had you be a candidate at the beginning of the stream, to be honest. But so there we go. Right, and with that, my moderation problem is resolved. So they didn't know it yet, but that was the precise moment Suitepee's demise was wrought. I don't think so, Turtle. I think it's the beginning of things heading in the right direction. Because at least the good thing I know is that both Bemused and Tourniquet are regulars, so I won't have any problems with no mods around anymore. And now we have 3 of them. So, good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Right. Well, I think I've done overlapping with questions at this point. I think all the questions have been asked. So we'll see what happens over the coming weeks. Hopefully things are going to start getting a bit better now. I'm going to move forward with things, and hopefully everything's going to be good in the future. And maybe I don't have to deal with some serious shit for a while. That'd be nice. It'd be nice just to get back to the process of just having fun, doing fun streams, smiling and laughing and joking about bullshit enemies and video games again. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be really cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for this sweet state. I will, unless I am ill or something bizarre happens, I will definitely be continuing Redneck Rampage tomorrow evening, in which I expect I will finish the base campaign and will probably go straight onto Route 66, which is the first of the 2 expansions that come with the collection for Redneck Rampage. And then after that, I guess I will be debating whether I play Hearthland in the main game last year, remember? Yeah. I'll be debating whether I will play Heartland, the new skill saw release, or whether I pick go to one of my request list squads. I'm still debating what I do with the skill saw thing, and I will bring that up at some point. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I will pretty much go straight to Route 66 and as soon as the thing's over, the main campaign's over. So yeah, got that to look forward to. So who is around to be raided? Oh, Jimmy. Hang on. Let me just check. There's 2 channels. Who's doing what? Fuck it. We'll raid Jimmy. Can never get enough of Jimmy. Of course. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully the 2 new mods are going to work out great, Bemuse and Tourniquet, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for Redneck Rampage. Have a good evening, everyone, and stay safe.